Marriage 2.0. You're going to have an open marriage and you're going to like it. All right, so I want to start this conversation off by revisiting the conversation that BTaylor TV had with just Pearly Things. And I want to review it just so I can make a point right quick.
At a time to explore the options.
So I've been in both situations. When I started dating, I would date one at a time, and I realized that didn't work for me personally.
Okay, so fair use, by the way, fair use. So she's talking about how she was dating one person at a time, and then she changed her dating strategy.
Because I get attached and I wear my heart on my sleeve. So I would get very upset if the guy didn't take me serious, or I found out he was talking to somebody else and I wasn't. I would feel some type of way. So to protect myself, to tell other women that are like me, I say it's okay to date other men. Now you're gonna have a roster. I think it's safe to have a roster. You always gonna have your favorite, and that's the one that you give the most attention to.
Okay, so what she's talking about, and the reason why I want to play this video is because it speaks to the mindset, not just her mindset, but think about this. She is on an internet platform. The internet is forever. We all know that. And she feels, not only is she saying this, she feels very comfortable saying this. She's comfortable saying this because it is a prevailing way of thinking now. She goes on.
Serious, while the other ones, you kind of got them on standby, kind of texting them from time to time, especially when you're like by yourself and he tripping a little bit or something. You texting your other roster of men, to kind of keep you distracted.
Okay, so what she's basically saying is that now it is acceptable for women to date like the top 20% of men. That is kind of what she is. That's what she's saying here. She's saying that she's dating like a top 20% man. She has a roster of guys, and that's the way she does it. Now, this second video is very short, but I think what's really interesting is that it kind of speaks to how ingrained this thinking is. Okay, so she doubles down on this. Okay, here we go.
That's what I'm just saying, like, you'll see how serious he's taking you based on how much time he's giving you. And if he's not giving you the time, then it's like you cut it and move on.
Yeah, that's why you keep them in rotation, so you can have somebody else to move on.
Okay, so everyone starts laughing here, but I think what's the most important point here is that her mindset is solidified. She's solidified in this mindset. I don't know much about her personal life. She might have children. I don't have any way of verifying that. And I'm looking her age. I would guess maybe she's late 20s, early 30s-ish. But this is a way of thinking that is concrete, solidified inside of her. She is going to have a roster of guys. That is just a reality for her and anyone that's going to date her. Now, the reason why I put Locario on the thumbnail is because Locario has come to terms with the new dating landscape. He's going to rationalize the way how he got to his decision, and then he's going to explain it. Now, a lot of people have poked fun at Locario and saying, the kind of marriage that he has is, you can say what you want to say about it, but I want to give Locario credit for this. Locario is thinking with his eyes open. He is proceeding in a behavior based on the information that he has gained, and he is acting accordingly. So I want you to listen to his way of thinking, and then I want you to listen to how he rationalizes it.
What I mean is that the reason why most guys can't understand or deal with that is because they live in illusion. And so what I mean is that any girl you're dealing with, especially if she's not your girlfriend yet or whatever, any girl you're dealing with is already dealing with other men. You understand? And has already dealt with other men. You see what I mean? So when I realized that, I was like, that's what it is. And on top of that,
so the baseline theory is that no matter who you're dealing with, and for most of us, before we get married, hey, that is, we get that. Like, she's not just seeing us, she's seeing other guys, and that's just part of it. But Locario is going to go a step further with that.
What I realized is that it doesn't, none of that means anything. You understand? And what I mean by it doesn't mean anything is that when I'm dealing with a chick, I'm dealing with that chick and she's dealing with me. So what a lot of guys do is they have a fear that the girl they're dealing with, if they're dealing with other dudes, that dude is going to take her from him.
Okay, now, his rationale, he goes from, we know that she's dating other people, and he goes from there to, if she's dating other people, most guys are worried that the other guy can take her from him, right? Most guys are worried about that kind of thing, right? So he goes from dating other people to guys are being afraid that that other guy might take them. And this is where he goes with that logic.
You understand what I'm saying? Or they think that she's like, that she's gonna like him more. You understand? And so the perspective that I've realized is that no guy can take a chick from me because I don't have any chick. You understand?
Yes. So that's where the logic, that's where he takes his logic, is that even if you're married, you don't own, quote unquote, a chick. You don't own the chick.
See what I'm saying? Like, I don't own anything. Wow. You see what I mean?
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. Like, it's like, see, and that's the thing that dudes gotta understand. Like, there's no chick that's really mine. You understand what I'm saying? They're there and I enjoy them.
So this is the problem that I think most people are having. I have a problem with it. I'll be honest with you. The idea that she's just not my chick. Like, I have maybe even if I have a wife and I have children already, trying to wrap my mind around the idea that even after having kids and putting a ring on the finger and, you know, having a house together, she's still not my chick. I can't wrap my head around that. But Locario can. And because he can do that, Locario has a way of understanding marriage 2.0 in a way that I'm not really quite there yet. But it might be a necessary skill for the new marriage that's on the horizon.
And that's that. And that goes for my wife, that goes for my girlfriend, that goes for any chick I'm dealing with. You see what I'm saying? And so some guys will say, so he goes into why he got married, but what he's saying is basically wife, girlfriend, whoever girl you're dealing with, she at no point is she your quote unquote girl, your chick. And so if you look at it that way, then the idea of her being sexually active with other people, you won't have a visceral reaction to it. Now, me, I'm not ready for that. I'm just not. But if that's where marriage is going to go, if that's where marriage is going, you have to know that before you step into the marriage. Now, here's the rub. And Monique is going to talk about her open marriage, but there's one specific part about this interview that I think is really important. Okay, so here we go.
Wow.
That's it.
Any rule about sleeping with a mutual friend?
See, here's the thing. It's not even about sleeping.
Right.
It's not even about that. When we first got into it, it was my idea.
Okay, so right there, she said it was her idea. So I don't know how long they were married before she, I don't know, asked, told, demanded, requested, ultimatum. I don't know how she did it. I don't know how long they were married, but what kind of answer can you say? That's a yes or no question. Do you want to share your wife sexually with other people? Yes or no? And I don't know how you can answer that if you want to keep your wife. It's an impossible question.
It was my idea because, listen, Gabby, okay, when we first had the conversation, it was because I was still in the mindset of I'm an entertainer, I'm a performer, and I want to have it all.
Okay, so she says she wants to have it all. She wants to live her life openly.
So I said, you know what? I want to have an open marriage. And he said, Monique, we've been best friends since the 10th grade. Do you think that's going to stop us from loving one another?
And so that's where I think marriage 2.0 is going. a man is going to have to be accepting of that. If think about the two options that Monique's husband had in that situation. One option is I lose my wife and I can't see her anymore because she was having an open marriage and I don't want to do that. Or I open my marriage and I know that my wife is having sex with other people. What I don't know if there's any in between the two of those. If your wife walks up to you or your significant other walks up to you and say, I want to open the marriage, what are your two choices? Let your significant other have sex with other people, or get a divorce, break up your family, and then watch your significant other have sex with other people. So when I talk about marriage 2.0, this is it. This is it. I want to have sex with other people. I want to open it up, but I want to continue to have an emotional tie with you that's going to bond our family together. So suppose this scenario. You and your wife have maybe you have like a 5 or 6 year old, and you just had like a child maybe a year or two ago, and have a toddler walking around, and maybe your wife or your significant others feeling like they're not as sexy as they used to be, and they want something to spice the marriage up. And they come to you and they say, I want to open up my marriage. I want to open up this marriage, like Monique did. It'll be good for us. You have two choices. You have the choice of opening up the marriage of the mother of your 2 children so that she can have sex with other men, or you face the prospect of going to court and fighting to see your children. I don't know what the precedent is for with people requesting open marriage and not being granted that by their significant other, but those don't have to be the grounds for divorce. It could be a no-fault divorce, and you have 2 young children. They're probably going to go to the mother. You're going to be paying child support, maybe even alimony, whatever, and she's still going to be out there having sex with other people if that's what she wants or they want. And that is what I mean by marriage 2.0. Remember, when Monique spoke about her husband, the guy said, I have loved you since the 10th grade, blah, blah, blah. This is not going to stop our marriage, right? He was understanding of it. And if you are going to be part of a 2.0 marriage, you're going to have to be that guy. Your wife comes to you and says, I want to open up the marriage. You say, hey, I love you regardless. I'm not ready for that. I am not ready for that kind of marriage. But if your wife comes to you in the middle of the night after you have a kid or two and says, I want to open up the marriage, what kind of cards do you have left? What cards do you have to play? I don't know how that plays out. I don't know how it plays out in court. I don't know how it plays out. That is on the horizon. It's on the horizon. What is Monique's husband supposed to say to that? And I brought up BTaylor, because if she gets married, do you think that she is of the mindset to be monogamous with one guy for the rest of her life? Even if she's, I don't know, I'm guessing she's 35-ish, or let's say she gets married at 35-ish. Do you think that when she said having a roster, do you think she can go from a roster to having one guy for the rest of her life? And so what Locario is talking about rings true. Guys have to adjust their mindset if you're going to get married, I would say particularly in the West, because you're one conversation away from being accosted, approached, requesting a 2.0 marriage. With that, guys, I want to say this is a video I made for guys who are considering going overseas and some of the emotional preparation that they might need to make, because, going overseas to travel is one thing, but when you make a decision to go overseas to live, there are some mental things that you might want to throw in your suitcase that'll really help you out. Some things that I learned in my 2+ decades of living overseas in Asia. And take a look at this video, and it has a couple of nuggets that might help you with your mindset when you're going overseas. With that, guys, I want to say thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, feel free to comment down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care, guys.